There we go, and we've started. Actually, no, I got to keep that up so I remember that I'm recording. All right, so the easiest one I can think of right off the hop is using some of our more common, say, tape measure measurements, right? So 1/4, right? You'd see it written like that, right? 1/4 on a tape measure. 1/4 is equal to 0.25. And essentially the way that we got there is when you see a fraction, right, what it's saying is 1 divided by 4, right? So it would be 1 divided by 4, right? And we just treat it the way we have been with our long division. Does 4 go into 1? No, it doesn't, right? 4 times 0 is 0. And again, I'm going through the motions just for clarity. Now, remember how we said before about those remainders? Well, we want to get rid of that remainder. So now we have to start creating numbers. But I'm going to put a decimal place, whoops, sorry, damn lefty. I'm going to put a decimal place up here to show that, okay, now I got to start creating stuff. So I'm going to create a 0. And again, that's my way of telling me that that 0 wasn't there before. So that I can bring this down, right? So now 4 goes into 10 how many times? Well, it goes in 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8, right? 10 minus 8 leaves us with 2. Sorry, this is one of my things, Lanessa. It drives me crazy if this little line up here isn't long enough. So I'm left with 2 down here. Okay, I still got to bring down a number, but I got to create it. Again, I put the stick through, bring down the 0 to make it 20. 4 goes into 20. How many times? It goes in 5 times. 5 times 4 gives us 20, and we're left with 0. Right? And there's our final answer up there, 0.25, 0.25. I'll give you another common one. Let's do our halves. Right, so if I said 1/2, okay, let's write it out as a division question again. Okay, so essentially 1, my bad, I do that all the time, 1 divided by 2. 2 doesn't go into 1, right? Again, I'm running through the motions. Okay, so I got to create numbers now to get rid of this remainder. So I'm putting the decimal place, okay, creating a number to bring it down. 2 goes into 10, 5 times, 5 times 2, 10, and there's our 0, right? Okay, so 0.5, or if this was money, throw that placeholder of a 0 in there, 50 cents. Okay, does that make sense? So far? Kinda? Clear as mud? Let's give you one more tape measure, obvious tape measure one, right? And I've been working in sort of the quarter values, and I'll go with the 3/4. So 3/4 of an inch, say. So again, let's write it out as a long division question. So it's 3 divided by 4. So 3 divided by 4. Once again, 4 does not go into 3. Okay. I got to now create numbers to get rid of this remainder. Put the decimal place there to say I'm creating. And drop that down. 4 goes into 30. How many times? It goes in 7. Right? 7 times 4 is 28. Okay, and just for the sake of it's right here, let's cross out that 3, make it a 2, make that a 10, and there we go. I still have a remainder, so I still got to create another number. Lengthen my line. Create another number. Bring it on down to join the party down here. 4 into 20, 5 times, and there we are. 0.75 is the same as 3/4. All right. Now, what if we did something like, yeah, all right, let's try this one. So I've got, let's say I've got 11/16. I'm going to go with the 11/16. That's something you could read on a tape measure, right? But sometimes it's hard for people to say, do calculations with fractions, so they prefer to put it into decimals. So if we were to put 11/16 into a decimal, 11 divided by 16. Okay, so if you want, for the sake of placeholding, you can throw a 0 on top of that 1. And then 16 to 11 doesn't go. Again, I'm just going to place hold, right? 11. So I've got to create numbers here. So I'm going to put a decimal, create a number. 16 into 110. 10 divided by 16. It looks like it goes in 6 times. Now this one I might get wrong. I might have to do this one again. I already have a feeling I'm going in the wrong direction. Let's stay with me. So 6 times 16, 96, right? That's 96. We're left with 14. Again, I gotta create, bring this down. Or is it, yeah, then 16 into 140. Every once in a while I'll screw one up, so this one might be the one. All right, so we're left with 12. To 120. I think I'm regretting this one. Has anybody gotten an answer for this one at all? Ahead of me? I don't even mind it if you did.
I think it repeats.
Yeah, I think you might be right too. Right about here. Yeah, right about here is where it repeats. So a lot of times, instead of, writing them all down, I usually, or at least it was taught to me, to put a dot on top of the remainder. But just for shits and giggles, I want to check this one out. 11 divided by 16. Okay, all right. So we were all right. You guys see that? Yeah. Did I lose anybody there? Did anybody just shut off their computers and say, screw this? Right, but do you guys get what I mean by that one could have repeated? Because 16 times 5 is 80, and then so on and so on and so on. Okay, but let me give you guys a couple here that might be a little easier on you. Try these ones. Try convert 5/8 into the decimal. Convert, I'll call that number 1. Number 2, convert 3/8. Whoops, sorry, do you guys see that as a 3? My writing's getting sloppy today. Try how about that one I just threw in. It's not in my book. So I haven't done that one yet either. Oh, let me